Hello everybody. In this screencast we're going to look at how to set up email in Consul. I'm going to assume that you've gone through the README and you've set up a production environment with your remote installation of Consul and that you've already gone through the deploys with Capistrano and you can make a deploy to your production server with this command. And now we're going to look at email configuration. Right now, if you go to your production server and you try to send an email, I'm going to say that I forgot my password with the default admin user, then you get a 500 error. So what we need to do is update a file in the production server, this one, and update the SMTP credentials, which is this block of code here. So I'm going to go to my remote server. I have two terminals here, one with my local installation of Consul, and this one which is going to be my remote server. I'm going to log into my remote server, and I'm going to go to this directory. Here's my production.rb file, and this is the code that we need to change. I'm going to need an SMTP provider. You guys probably already have one. If not, or if you're having problems, give it a shot with SendGrid. It's a very simple SMTP provider, and it has a free plan. So I'm going to go here, setup guide, my first email. I want to use SMTP relay. And I'm going to give these credentials a name. And these are my credentials, what I want to use in my production.rb file. So let's go there, production.rb, go down to the SMTP credentials, and we put in these credentials. So this is going to be the address. The port is fine. The domain is your IP address for now until you set up your actual domain name. You don't want HTTP here. Your username is this, and your password is this big token. Make sure there's no spaces or extra lines. We save this file, and now we need to restart the application server because we changed the configuration file. So I go to my local installation and I execute this command here. Okay. Now let's try refreshing this page. We've got the 500 error. Great, now we don't get an error, but we're not going to get an email either because we don't have access to this domain. So let's try and sign up to get a real email. I'm going to create an account, my Gmail account. Okay. Yep. Okay, you have been sent a message. And here we go. Great. And now I can confirm my account. And login. And life is beautiful. Okay. So that is how we put the credentials in. To restart the server. There are couple other things we need to consider once we set up our domain. I'm going to walk you through them. We need to update the server name in a special file called secrets. So this is just here in our remote server. So this is here in config, and here are a few configuration files, and this is the one that we want to change, secrets. No, there's a block of code for every environment, staging, production, and you should set those up at some point. But for now, we just want to look at the production block of code, and this server name with the IP address is what you want to change with your actual domain name, and then restart the server again. Otherwise, some SMTP providers complain because you're sending it from an IP address, it should be a domain name. The other thing that we might have to change is the sender email address. Right now, we're receiving this email from consul, no reply at consul.dev. So you want to change that to your actual domain too. And that is here in admin settings in the admin section. Let's have a look at that. Oh, I'm gonna log in as the default admin user. This is admin, consul.dev. And here in the admin section in settings, you look for email. This is what you want to change. Sender email name, instead of being consul, you want it to be participation, like that. And the other big thing to change is the email address. So now we're getting it from no reply at consul.dev. Maybe you want it from myfort.gov. Okay. Okay. And once you do these changes, you'll have to restart also the application server. Okay. And now if I send another email, I'm gonna say that I forgot my password and use my real Gmail account. Email has been sent. One new email, and now I get it from no reply at myfort.gov. Participation, no reply. SendGrid allows you to send an email from here, but your SMTP provider might not and give you a problem, so you want to use your real domain name here. All right. And yep, another gotcha is that by default we use the plain authentication, which is a standard, but some SMTP providers use other authentication methods. For that, please check out the Rails docs on that. Here you have the authentication option. I mean, maybe instead of plain, it's plugin or CRAM MD5. Just talk to your SMTP provider. He'll be able to tell you which authentication they use, and you have to update that in your production.rb file in this block of code appropriately. Okay, and one last thing I wanted to show you is how to debug error messages when you're configuring this. So I'm going to make a mistake and see the error. So I go back to my production.rb file, and let's say I'm going to put the wrong username. So instead of API key, I forget about the Y. I'm going to save this and restart the server. Okay, so now if I try to send an email, yeah, that's fine. I get this 500 error, no? And where do I see that error and what is it exactly? So I'm going to go to my production server and I'm going to look at the logs. So that's here, logs production.log. So I'm going to tail this file, I'm going to do this error again, and now I see that something happened here. No? And if I go up, this is the actual error message. No? SMTP authentication error, bad username or password. No? So this log should give you a hint on what's going on and what you need to try and change. Okay, well, that's all I wanted to tell you about in this screencast about configuring emails. If you are having problems, you see anything strange, please create an issue here in the installer, issues, new issue, create your issue here, or give us a shout out through Jitter or the community. Thank you.